It's the final countdown. Hello, everyone. What is going on? How are you? I hope this message, wherever you are hearing this, finds you in a great state, a great place. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good. My name is Courtney Rollins from Estate Pro Service down here in Durham, North Carolina. I am the probate expert in Durham, North Carolina. Now, when I say expert, I am not saying that I know every single thing about the probate process in North Carolina, but I'm darn sure dedicated to gaining as much knowledge as I can so that I can help families and people really go through the process efficiently. And my biggest goal is to help people avoid probate in the future by setting up the right legal instruments to protect all this hard-earned assets and wealth and income that we've accumulated over time. Um, I am not a financial advisor or an attorney, but as a real estate professional and someone who digs into probate as a niche, it's my job to learn and to know as much as I can possible so that I can help folks who have uh, um, or are going through probate or in the process, streamline that process. And then when there's real estate involved, it's a great opportunity for me to earn the right to either buy the property or figure out the best remedy for a person and help them along the way. And again, I get paid handsomely. What does Zig Ziglar say? To get what you want, you need to help other people get what they want. And that's definitely the philosophy I follow. This is the Life and Transitions Experts podcast, as the intro shared, and it's a place where other professionals come and are dedicated to helping folks through those big life transitions, such as death or the transition of an estate or the transition of real estate. So here we are. How do I close an estate account in North Carolina, Pacifically as opposed to Atlantically in Durham, North Carolina, specifically? Okay, so final accounting. Now, the personal representative who's charged with selling the fiduciary affairs of the decedent's estate, this process is called probate, and so if a person has a will and they don't have their properties or real property or personal property deeded in a trust or other legal instruments, then the property, or not the property, but the estate has to be probated. Someone has to have the legal authority to settle any claims, settle the taxes, and distribute any of the assets or inheritance that may be remaining, and pay for this as well. So once this is open and gathering, then once the personal representative is assigned, and the personal representative is another name for the executor if there is a will. If someone dies testate, that means they have a last will and testament. They've assigned an executor, or sometimes it's called an executrix in certain states where it's going by gender, but most, by and large, people say executor. Now, if there isn't an executor because the will did not designate one or there's not a legitimate will, then the superior courts will assign an administrator. So the state is being administrated, and both of those names, executor, executrix, administrator, quite often called the personal representative because they have the fiduciary responsibility to represent the estate. Now, the person can file or must file an accounting at least 1 year after they have been given that designation as the personal representative, and they can file the final accounting has to be 1 year after the notice of creditors. So there's a step in the process where the personal representative has to, for about 4 weeks straight in North Carolina, in a valid newspaper in that county where the decedent estate is being administered, has to let folks know, hey, this is here. If you have any claims or anything like that, you need to check it out. You need to make your claims made within, this certain time period. Now, I'm glad I'm looking at my notes and I see I haven't got a typo, so I'm glad I caught that. Woo-hoo. Now, the personal representative has up to 12 months from that date to file the final accounting, but there can be an extension granted by the clerk of the Superior Court. And if the extension has been granted, then an annual accounting must be filed within 1 year of being authorized as the personal representative. Now, the personal representative can request to extend this by making an appointment with the clerks down there, and if it's deemed authorized, then they will get that extension. But you still have to file an annual accounting until the final accounting is settled. So as long as the estate is open, and there are some probates that take several years. There's some that take more than, quite often the probate's going to take about 6 months to a year, but there are definitely cases that have gone on way before that. Excuse me. Now make sure that if you are the personal representative, that you provide proof. Every single accounting, every single payment made, every single distribution made, every single payment received must have a either canceled or image check or other proof of payment that's approved by the clerks, so that you can see any of the balances remaining or what's been invested or what's there. It has, like an example, a detailed bank statement showing the remaining balance in the estate is something that would be approved. So you have to show proof. Now, what are some of the contents in this accounting? Now, all items that are filed will be filed and submitted under oath, and you must have the following included: the time period that the account spans. So what is the time period of this accounting? Whether when it's an annual one or even a final accounting, you got to say, okay, this is from this period is what this account is demonstrating, showing you. You must show the exact amount and value of any real property based on the inventory and appraisal, or specified in the previous accounting if you're going over a year. You must specify the exact type of investments that took place under that under your administration, and the amount of income or any property that was received during the accounting. So anything that comes in or anything that goes out, pretty much. All gains or losses from the sale of any property or anything that comes in or goes out. That means all payments, charges, losses, and distributions. And now, you must also provide any other facts or information that has been specified or outlined by the clerks necessary to determine what the correct status of the account is. Okay. Now, let's say, for instance, it's unfortunate this is a wrongful death procedure. So if the state is taking legal action, the estate is taking legal action in a wrongful death lawsuit, the personal representative has to be bonded prior to receiving any proceeds from the death procedure. And there are resources out there that can help someone be bonded if they don't have the resources themselves, and definitely reach out to a state pro service or a local probate specialist in your area, and they connect you to those resources. And you have to file a separate accounting regarding the wrongful death proceeds that's based on. Now, the proceeds can only be used for specific expenses if it's a wrongful death, and the remaining balance of anything left has to be submitted based on the Intestate Succession Act. That's chapter 29 of this in there specifically. So if you're in North Carolina, look up the Intestate Succession Action. I said act, but action. And it's available online, so you can definitely take a look at that. I'm sorry, it's chapter 29 of the general statute. So the Intestate Succession Act, I don't know why I keep saying action, but it's the act. You'll take that action to figure out how the remaining balance can be distributed amongst the heirs. Or go check out my the podcast and YouTube channel that explains that a little further. I think it's episode 36, I believe. Now, what are the permitted expenses in a wrongful death lawsuit? Anything that's justifiable or needed for raising the lawsuit and paying the attorney fees can be paid off with those proceeds. The burial expenses of the deceased can be paid off. Medicare can actually be reimbursed. Now, medical expenses can be paid off, but they can't go beyond $4,500. Any medical expenses that were required as a result of the injury that resulted in the death, I should say. And the amount that's applied to the hospital or medical expenses cannot exceed 50% of the total recovery minus the attorney fees. So this amount is separate from any Medicaid reimbursement. Medicaid is going to get their funds. So make sure you're aware of that you can't pay more than 50% of the total recovery, because those other funds, less the attorney fees, have to go to the descendants based on the intestate Succession Act, whether there's a will or not. Now, keeping track of all these accounting items can be very daunting. Fortunately for us, as probate specialists, we actually have access to software, almost like QuickBooks for estates or Mint for estates, that are providing detailed, concise, efficient, manageable accounting of all the things that have taken place. And it's easy to transfer to from attorneys, to from clerks' spaces, and it helps provide a quick snapshot in one particular place. And it can save a lot of time, can save a lot of costly legal fees, because this work is already done and you're not being charged by the hour for paralegals or the attorney to actually do some of this administrative work. So it cuts out the administrative lag for your attorney so they can get down to representing you in more efficient ways and helping you, again, save some of that time, money, and hopefully save some of that headache. Hey, I would love to work with you and discuss further on about this at estateproservice.com. You can sign up for a free Calendly consultation, and it doesn't matter what part of the country you're in. We have access to vetted estate professionals across the nation and would love to connect you wherever you are. Of course, if you're in North Carolina Triangle area, specifically Durham, definitely reach out and would love to find a way we can support and help you out. It's been probate is not a fun thing. Someone passed away, but I must say it has been so rewarding helping families through some of their toughest times. I feel blessed to be in this position. I feel blessed to be able to learn from folks like Chad Corbett with Probate Mastery, his group. I feel blessed to be able to learn from folks like Bill Gross with Probate Weekly, and just so many people who are out there dedicated to serving at a high level. It's an awesome, amazing community to be a part of, and I don't take that for granted. And I don't take you for granted. So I really appreciate it if you would hit that like, subscribe, leave a review, leave any feedback and comments. If you would like to be a part of the show, check us out at the Life Transitions Experts Facebook group and YouTube channel. Reach out to me, or I'll be reaching out to you. And we can chat and see if we can get you on here. And of course, if you need any support or help, go to estateproservice.com, as I've already said. Hey, maybe you're a real estate professional and you're looking to find off-market deals and work with families and get properties at a discount. You can go to doreideals.com and check out some of the inventory we have there. There's also free tools for learning to wholesale. Click that link, you get a free script, sales system, all that good stuff. And again, we can sit down and chat and talk about how we can be a part of each other's journey. All right. Rising tides, it lifts all sails.